Today's project is a completely off-grid irrigation system for our survival garden. So we've got started on our garden. Because of our trip to Europe, we're getting started a little bit late, but that's all right. We need to get everything set up. We'll get the irrigation system set up and the boxes in place. So today we're going to be working on the irrigation system. So I'll show you around kind of what we got started, what we're doing, and why. Here we got started, or actually Mrs. Wranglerstar here has worked very hard and got these boxes in and filled up with dirt. The reason why we didn't fill them up all the way is, well, we could say that we wanted to leave room for compost and wood chips and such, but actually the fact is it's a ton of work to fill these up with dirt, so it's kind of a combination of the both there. So this is, you know, very beginning garden for us. We're just getting started, but you can see here we're planting things individually, and today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the irrigation system that I'm going to be doing. So we've got a couple more boxes here. So we're going to put up 16 this year, and the reason why we have done these is, one, we got the boxes for free, and we have a serious golfer issue up here. So we've got, I've made wire baskets out of some stuff kind of like this right here that have set in the bottom of it. So when these compost bins, or these fruit bins, when they rot out, I've spaced them out in a way that I can use, I'll just put some timbers around them and build a raised bed, and then the wire will settle down and still be there, and then we can pull the plywood out. So, but we'll get a few years out of these, I'm sure. So, and also what I'll be, the supply for this irrigation system is going to be the ram pump. And I've been experimenting with to see if it pushes enough pressure, and it does, to supply water up here to these drip hoses. But we want something a little more permanent. So here's the main that's going to be coming up from the canyon, and I'm zip tying it here to the bottom of the fence, and it'll run the whole perimeter of the fence garden, and I'll be cutting in T's, which will be feeding these boxes with individual valves per row. And that's what we're doing today. So here's some of the bits and pieces that I've got laid out that I'll be using for the off-grid irrigation system right here. And I'll be using a 3/4 inch main to supply the planter boxes to the small stuff right here. And the drip irrigation stuff's pretty cheap, and all different options, you know, like little adjustable nozzles or fixed nozzles here with stakes on them that do, you can get them that do 45, 180, 360. It's all really relatively cheap. I think for probably less than $100, you could, for most gardens, you could get pretty much everything you needed to do a basic system. So got everything laid out, and let's get started. The entrance right there to the garden, and our garden, as I said earlier, is 100 by 75. So this is our first row. These boxes are 48 by 48 square. So in this corner right here, I've got the main that's coming up from the ram pump. And what I'll be doing in the future is I'm going to build a water tower right there, and I'm going to elevate a big water tank. And I'll use the ram pump to pump into that and then gravity feed down. But I've got all the stuff, it's in storage, and I can't get to it right now. So what I'm going to do, and I'll just run these directly off the ram pump. The ram pump's pushing about 24 pounds of pressure up here, right here. I checked with my gauge, and it should be enough to feed this small garden directly. So I cut in a T right here, and we'll run the main along the top, and the feeders off there to water the plants. Right, go ahead and put the next one right below it.
Right here?
Go. Better, doesn't it? Hold it nice and tight. And then get your cutters and cut off the tail and put the tail in the garbage. So I've got the main. It's going to run the full perimeter of the fence line. That's a 3/4 inch line. There's a couple reasons for that. And then each box or group of boxes, I'll run a main up here to a valve, and then that will continue on, and I've got it run extra for the extra boxes in the future. And then we'll split off of this. And the valve will allow me to turn each individual row off or on. If I don't have all the water pressure I need, that way I can work this into separate zones. And another thing I'll be adding on the perimeter for convenience are spigots, just for Mrs. Wranglerstar can hook up a hose or wash things off, or who knows, a million different reasons. So just cut in a T right there, and then change that over to steel, about a 12-inch nipple, so I can secure it and it's strong to the post, and then a T off of there with a permanent hose that she can run to and fro with, whatever length she wants, and then also a valve. That way she can hang her watering can on it without having to hold it, turn it on, and fill as she needs. So here's how you add the laterals, the small lines, to the main. And I bought the little punch tool which pokes the hole, and I think it was $1.99. It really works good, and it gives you the exact size. That way you're not going to leak around your tees. So what we'll do is, I'll just show you. So we'll go along here right in between two boxes. That way I only need to puncture the hose once for every two boxes. I'll put that hole in there. Maybe I should turn the valve off first. This is like bad shower all over again here. See, this is another reason why you carry a handkerchief among all the others. Okay, well, that cooled me off. Alright, so here's the T, and there you can see that they've got the chisel cut on them, and you simply poke that in there with some effort. You're supposed to use this really thin-walled pipe that goes in a lot better, but I'm just using the 100 psi stuff because it's cheaper, and I had it. There. Okay, now that that's in there, we'll hook up our laterals. Now that we got our T in, here is a just your very garden variety sprayer. It's a 180 degree sprayer. It sprays in, 360 degree sprayer. You can get them in all different configurations, and these just snap into these stakes, and you'll push your lateral line on, connect it here to the T, and then we'll put it right in the center. This here is our tomato box. Right there. Then we'll do the same for the other side. Alright, let's try it out. Perfect. I can kind of control how much flow I want with the valve here. And what's cool about this is this whole thing's running off my ram pump. No tank, auxiliary tank, but just straight directly off. And it's down in the creek working away, and I can't even hear it from here. So perfect. You can get all different types of heads for these. I just grabbed a couple of these little spinners to see how they worked, and you can control the flow on them, so you can turn them up or turn them off or down. And I like these best. These really, you can really dial them in and control them. Because some plants you're going to want to give more water than others, but they're just working away. Look how much water is coming out of that ram pump. That's an 1.25 inch ram pump that I built myself. And this is, you can see it down there working. I'm about 100 feet up the hill from it. And this is easily over a gallon a minute. Free water. So I had to move the ram pump to a different location. When we came back from Europe, I had it on the downhill side of this pond here. The pond dropped 2 feet during the summer, And fortunately I found another water supply that is a consistent 20 gallons a minute. That's what's coming out of this 1.25-inch pipe that I have access to. And it hasn't, we're almost in July now with no rain in some time, and it hasn't diminished at all. So it seems like a really stable supply, and it's going to be perfect for this. So this is a new location. You can see the ram pump working, and running it up this single pipe, this 3/4-inch poly is running up to the garden, and we're going to run that irrigation system, or I am running it now, directly off the ram pump with no reservoir tank, just to see if it'll work, because I just haven't got around to putting one in yet. It may be that I don't need one. So if the water supply holds out, I can run directly off the pump, and I won't need to fool with it. So, and I've up at the gauge when it pumps up. I just broke the line, I spliced in a piece so it's filling back up. But 32 pounds of pressure here at the pump. Everything said and done, at the end of the line, the highest point, the furthest point, after all the friction loss and elevation and all of that from the ram pump directly, it's holding static at 20 pounds of pressure. And the last time I checked it, then I had a bunch of kinks in the lines and leaks of the supply line coming up. I was over a gallon a minute. So we'll check it now and see. But I know for sure that I'd be able to maintain 20 psi at just a hair under a gallon per minute. And that is enough to irrigate our whole garden, as long as we break it into zones and completely off grid. No power, no energy, strictly off a $200 ram pump. And if you don't get it, if you are not excited about that and how that works and the possibilities with that technology, then I don't know if there's any hope for you, because I just think that it's off the chart amazing, and I can't believe it. Jack and I are going to find out what the volume is of the water coming out of the ram pump. So we'll let it run for a minute, get the air out of it, and then we're going to, we'll see. You ready? Here, we set. And on your mark, get set, go. Go.
50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 1.
So you can see right there, we probably have just about 1 gallon. So this ram pump, just on its own, will pump 1 gallon. As long as we don't go over that, it'll hold that pressure of about 21 pounds. So, I mean, that's not a problem, because that's why we're going to break up each one of these rows of boxes into separate zones. You know, just like you would at your house running off municipal water. I can maybe run 2 lines, maybe 3, maybe 1, whatever. All I have to do is open one valve, let the boxes water, come over, open the next, and just break it down. And if a guy wanted to, you could put this on a 12 or 24 volt system and have it all done on timers. So it's going to work great. I don't even know that I'm going to need a pressure tank and water tank and all that. I might just do some other things instead, and just get by, just use this until I need a bigger demand for water.